Welcome to the SolidWorks tutorial on assemblies and mates. These two things go hand in hand with each other. I mean, if you're going to have an assembly, you're going to have mates, and if you need mates, you're going to do it in assembly. So, you can see here I have a racetrack that we can do a motion study on and have it run down the track. That'll be another tutorial, probably in the series. But at first we're going to focus on the power of the assembly. As you can see here, I have assemblies inside assemblies, which all have mates, and then even this assembly we has mates to specific entities. So with the car assembly having constraints with the car, and then the track having constraints to the car, they can get pretty complicated and get you really long design trees pretty quick. But to start off, if you want to do an assembly, you're going to click New, Make Assembly from a part, and then we're going to browse for a file, and we just want car slot 1 in this case, which should just bring in my car. There we are, my nice block car. You can see it doesn't have any pieces to it, so we're going to want to bring in a few more parts. We're going to insert component there, browse, and we're going to want the pin. In fact, we're going to want 2 pins, but we can just click on the part, Control Z. Oh, you do it from here, sorry. And it'll copy it for you. That was Control C, Control V, or you can always insert component and do it again. Now we're going to want a wheel, bring that in, want a second wheel. I don't want to copy it with its mates even though it doesn't have any. Control C, Control V, there we go. So we have, well, we got 3 pins, delete that. So now we can arrange them. It doesn't really matter where they are. The constraints will put them where they need to be, and if sometimes they can get really off. So we'll want to click on mate. So now it'll give us the option of what we want to do. Now you can constrain in a variety of ways, and you can do a bunch of advanced stuff with them, with mates. You can do like cams, gears, screws, to get your parts to move in specific ways, symmetrical constraints, and then here's the standard constraints that you should be familiar with from sketches. So if we want to constrain the cylinder here to the inside hole, we'll just click on the cylinder, click on the hole, and you can see it lines it up, and you hit OK. For now we'll close it out, and so you can see the range of motion has now been limited to that. Now when you're making motion, maybe you just want this pin to move back and forth like that, but for us we don't, and so I'm going to click on mates again and click on that surface and this surface to line them up, and so now we have 2 directions of constraints. That pin will still spin the way we have it constrained. We're going to do the same thing with this one. Hit the green check, center, or circle and circle. Okay, so now we have the pins in place. Because of SolidWorks, we can defy gravity and defy physics. It really doesn't care at this moment, so it helps for aligning things up. So now we want to get this cylinder and that cylinder together. Now we want this centered here or off the wall at a specific distance, so we can use, we're just going to do the basic constraints. You could probably use a symmetrical right here, but we're just going to keep it simple by clicking on that face, clicking on this face, and now they're touching each other, but you can use this to move it a very small distance away from the wall. You can see it's not centered. We can make it a little bigger. Oh, that's way too big. And so now it's constrained. The wheel will still spin the way we have it, and now it's constrained a specific distance off there. We'll get this side all rigged up. We can put it on an angle if you want to. Yeah, we don't want that to happen. We can flip the direction here, and it should be just fine. There's errors still. Now here's our mates that you can see we made a fair number of them. As you can see, you can flip the part back and forth if it doesn't sit right. So of course we want to sit like this. We'll hit OK. So there's our car assembly. And these are some of the basic mates that you might want to use in your assemblies.